Greetings, one and all, to UniVS. In this show, we will analyze the stats, weapons, and abilities of two fighters to find out who would win in a battle to the death. Many people have predicted the outcome, so let's see who guessed right and who guessed wrong. And be sure to stay tuned after the episode so you can see the next fighters and leave your predictions down in the comment section below or with a video response. And who knows, your comment or your video response could be featured in the very next episode. With all that said, let's meet our two fighters. We have Ike, the Radiant Hero, and Guts, the Black Swordsman. Casually swinging around gigantic blades with a single hand, these two fighters know how to cut down just about any foe. But who's gonna get sliced and diced? Let's find out. This is UniVS. Ike was a young lad, a mercenary in training being taught by his father Grail. He was making somewhat steady progress until his training was cut short. Literally, a mysterious stranger known as the Black Knight invaded the land and killed Grail, leaving Ike in charge of the Grail mercenaries despite having little to no experience. While that didn't stop Ike from being in charge, it didn't stop members from leaving either, as they saw Ike as inferior. Not only that, but Ike also had to keep his eye on a princess serving as her bodyguard. As you can imagine, it wasn't easy for Ike to take all of this responsibility being thrown onto him, especially after seeing his father killed right in front of him, but somehow he pulled through. Ike was able to avenge his father by defeating the Black Knight, reclaiming the land, and allowing the princess to rise to power. Ike wouldn't have been able to do so though without his father's sword Ragnall. It's a powerful two-handed blade, yet Ike can swing it around like it was nothing with one arm. This weapon was given the power of being unbreakable by deities, and it has shown some pretty interesting abilities. With it, Ike can slash at blinding speeds and fire long-ranged energy blades. The range of these energy blades are even able to match those of an archer. Ragnall also increases Ike's durability, manipulates fire, and has the power to defeat deities. Ike has an ability called Aether. He throws his sword up in the air and then slams down with it, dealing damage to his foes. It can even restore his own health depending on how much damage he does. Ike also has an ability called Nihil, which weakens or sometimes even negates the abilities of his foes entirely. These abilities include ones that allow the enemy to increase their strength, allows them to time a perfect block, and even ones that would count as an instant kill. That's right, Ike has hacks that can kill other hacks. With all of these skills and abilities, it's easy to see why he was the best choice for the heir of the Grail mercenaries. Ike has performed some incredible feats. With a single one-arm swing of his two-handed sword, he was able to knock several soldiers off their feet at once. Ike has defeated the Black Knight, Ashura, and even a few dragons. Some of these dragons are seen as powerful enough to destroy buildings or crumble an entire castle spire. Ike also had the leadership qualities to lead the Grail mercenaries to victory, as well as a couple armies later on. As mentioned previously, Ike is able to slash at blinding speeds, faster than the eye can track. In fact, Ike even blitzed someone who could move faster than the eye can track. Ike has also dodged lightning-based magic and meteors. Not only that, but Ike managed to be the only Fire Emblem character in Super Smash Bros. Besides all the Marth clones that's actually fun to play as. Okay, I'm joking around now. I think you get the point of how awesome Ike is. Still though, it's pretty impressive how he can be one of the coolest swordsmen in gaming, despite having a vocal performance that rivals Zero and Dante in cheesiness.
Don't leave me! Father!
I now advise those of you with a weak stomach to leave as soon as possible. It's about to get nasty. We start off with Guts being born from his dead mother hanging from a tree. Then we move on to Guts being trained, tormented, and having non-consensual dirty stuff done to him by a creep named Donovan, all thanks to another creep named Gambino. Despite being somewhat of a father figure, Gambino hated Guts. He blamed Guts for everything wrong in his life, like the death of Shisu from the plague, the loss of his right leg, and he eventually got so angry that he tried to kill Guts, failing to do so and losing his own life in the process. Not too long after that, though, Guts was found by the Band of the Hawk and their leader Griffith. He finally felt at home for once until Griffith betrayed him in one of the most horrifying and gruesome ways possible. This included branding his neck so he'd be hunted down by demons and monsters. Luckily, he's well equipped to take all of them down thanks to his gigantic blade called Dragon Slayer. It's over 6 feet long, weighs nearly 500 pounds, and does 3 times the damage of a normal sword. This sword also rests on the physical and astral planes of existence, allowing Guts to damage and kill supernatural beings. In order to use this beast of a sword better, Guts also has a mechanical arm with a magnetic grip. This mechanical arm also uses a flamethrower, a single-shot cannon, and a repeater crossbow that fires arrows so hard and fast that it can pierce heavy armor. Guts also carries some miniature bombs with an explosive radius of 15 feet, as well as some throwing knives and a small dagger. However, if all this isn't enough, Guts also has the Berserker armor, which increases his stats and allows him to forget the concept of fear and pain. But just because he doesn't feel pain doesn't mean he isn't taking damage at all. This suit is very dangerous to Guts' mind and body. But considering the upsides, totes worth it. At a very young age, Guts was able to defeat a pack of wild wolves and even slayed 100 men all by himself. As he grew older, his strength only grew greater. Guts can swing Dragon Slayer with a force to match a cannon, and his repeater crossbow is strong enough to pin a man's head to a pillar. He can even use Dragon Slayer with his mouth and slice through foes that range from building to city block levels in attack potency. Strength isn't all Guts has though. He can move his sword at a speed that creates after images, he can move faster than the eye can track, he can avoid shockwave based projectiles, and he's even evaded lightning at one point. His pain tolerance is also pretty high, Berserker armor or not. He survived being crushed through several pillars, being smacked by a tree, and even handled the pain of having his eye gouged out and having to cut off his own arm. Guts has handled all kinds of monsters and mercenaries, but is Ike a monster of a mercenary that Guts can handle? Let's find out and take a look at your predictions while I calculate the results.
I've never seen Griffith get knocked down like that.
So, how do you like the taste of your own blood?
Hey guys, Brandon Gaming VA here for another UniVS prediction. I'm going to be tackling this one solo because I actually know a lot about these two and I want to get my thoughts across. So, today we have Ike from the Fire Emblem Radiant series versus Guts from Berserk. Now, I've gone a little bit back and forth in this fight, looked back into Ike's abilities because he's had a lot across a multitude of Fire Emblem games, and I'm gonna have to go with Ike on this one. Now, don't get me wrong, Guts has a lot of stuff going for him. He is more experienced than Ike. He is better trained than Ike, whereas Ike was just thrown into the role as leader of the Grail mercenaries when his father was killed. And I would argue that Guts has the more versatile weapons. Now, while Ike has more abilities at his disposal, Guts has more things he can throw at Ike, like his repeater crossbow, knives, bombs, etc. Now, Guts' biggest ace in the hole is his Berserker armor, and I needed to determine whether or not Ike could get through it, in which case, yes, he should be able to. For one, the Berserker armor has been shown to have a set limit to how much punishment it can take. A tough enough blow will be strong enough to smash it into pieces. And considering that Ike can not only harm some of the toughest dragons in his universe, has the power of the goddesses on his side, and has some abilities that can boost his damage even further, tripling it with soul, or boosting his luck with arms thrift, he should have no problem getting past Guts' Berserker armor. Not to mention, Ike is the better sword fighter considering all the different techniques he has with his sword, some of which include Heavy Blade, Leader's Intuition, Aether, and Axe Breaker. Plus, outside of the Berserker armor, Ike is shown to have better durability considering he can take hits from the Black Knight. So in the end, putting Guts' better experience, arsenal, and training up against Ike's ever-growing strength, speed, durability, and plethora of moves, I believe Ike should be able to take this fight.
What's up guys, SuperSonic216 here, and today we're going to be doing the next episode of UniVS, of the UniVS. Right, Emily?
Yeah.
It features a battle between Ike versus Guts. And I don't know much about Guts, but I do know much about Ike for something. Well, he was on Smash Brothers, and I forgot what kind of game he is, but yeah. He is going to be joining the UniVS Productions, or the next episode of UniVS. So me and Emily are going to be voting for the productions. So yeah, right?
Yeah.
So who are you voting for? Guts or Ike?
What are you doing?
You first, ladies first. That's what they all say.
Okay.
You're
This one.
okay. So she's voting for Ike. So tell me, why do you think Ike is going to win?
Okay, he looks so cool.
Well, here's why I think that Ike will win. So here's why I think she thinks that Ike is going to win. Because Ike has so many durability and for his own upper occasion, and Ike has the speed advantage and the strength advantage of this Super Smash Bros. Thing, and he does look forward to watch out for his places. So yeah, that's why she thinks that Ike's going to win. So my prediction on this, I think that, yeah, I'm gonna go with Ike on this one too, because he is more durable, he's more faster, and so yeah, so that's our predictions. So I hope you like, comment, subscribe to LeopoldTheBrave, and thanks for watching. Peace out.
And the results are in. The winner is... Guts! Wow, at first I thought this was one of the coolest matchups I've ever come up with in my time as a versus debater, but geez, the victor became too obvious after that analysis. So, let's not waste any time and get into these results. Let's start off with a small area, but an important one. While Guts and Ike can both wield gigantic two-handed blades with a single hand, Guts is definitely more impressive when it comes to this area. Ike's sword Ragnall weighs about 20 units, a fictional measurement in the Fire Emblem verse. However, YouTuber Jigglemaster was able to find a conversion method by using Ike's own weight at 9 units. With this method, he found out that Ragnall weighs about 320 pounds. Very impressive, but still 100 pounds under Guts' nearly 500-pound Dragon Slayer, which he can swing with enough force to match a cannon. That means from the start, Ike is already going to be taking more force than he's able to dish out, and without any armor, that's going to hurt. Luckily, Ike is able to match Guts' range with the repeater crossbow by using the energy blades that he can fire from Ragnall, but that doesn't help much when you consider the rest of Guts' far-reaching arsenal, like the miniature bombs or his cannon arm. While it's true Ike may have the edge in agility and mobility due to all the flips, acrobatics, and crazy movements he can do with his sword, Guts is able to match his speed by both being able to react to and avoid lightning-based attacks. We haven't even gotten into the Berserker armor yet, which increases Guts' stats and makes him even more of an unstoppable monster to Ike. If you remember though, Ike does have hacks that negate stat boosters used by his opponents, which would most likely include Guts as well with his Berserker armor. But that doesn't change the fact that it's still armor and will protect Guts, allowing him to work through what would normally cause agonizing pain. And even without the Berserker armor, Guts' stats are still higher. The strongest opponents that Ike beats are ones that Guts can casually defeat on a daily basis. Guts beats Ike in strength, durability, rivals his speed, and has a much superior long-ranged arsenal. The Radiant hero may have Nihil to negate most of the Berserker armor's enhancements, but that's not enough to get past Guts' natural strength. Ike may be one neato swordsman, but even he doesn't stand a chance once Guts goes berserk. The winner is Guts.
Please stop shaking me. It doesn't seem to be helping the pain.
Get ready for the next battle.